Hello and welcome. Let's talk about artificial intelligence. You know, it's one of those terms that can sound really big and complicated, maybe even a little intimidating. But what if I told you it's actually becoming one of the simplest, most powerful tools you can use every single day? Ready to see how? So you might be thinking to yourself, I'm a total beginner. I don't know the first thing about AI, but are you sure about that? I've got a feeling you know a lot more than you think. All right, let's take a look at this list. Any of these ring a bell? That Instagram feed that just gets you? Or how Netflix always seems to know exactly what you want to binge watch next? What about Google Maps getting you through traffic? Or your email spam filter catching all that junk? Yep, every single one of those is AI, working for you behind the scenes. And that's the big reveal. You're not new to this at all. You've actually been using AI for years, probably every single day. The only difference is that from now on, you're going to learn how to use it on purpose. Okay, so let's peek behind the curtain and figure out how this stuff actually thinks. And here's the secret, right up front. It's all about finding patterns. It's a math whiz, not a mind reader. I really love this definition because it cuts through all the noise. Just forget the sci-fi movies for a second. At its core, AI is just a tool. It's a tool that we feed a ton of data. It learns to spot patterns in that data, and then it uses those patterns to help us do things, well, faster, easier, and a whole lot better. That's really it. And here's a perfect example of how that learning happens. Imagine you want an AI to know what a cat is. You don't give it a dictionary definition. Nope. You show it millions and millions of cat photos. The AI sifts through every single one, learning the patterns, the pointy ears, the whiskers, the shape of the tail. So when you show it a new picture, it doesn't feel like it's a cat. It makes an incredibly accurate prediction based on all the patterns it's already seen. So this is probably the most important thing to get straight. The myth is that AI has consciousness, feelings, and thinks like we do. But the reality, it's a pattern-matching machine on a scale we can barely imagine. It has zero feelings, no memories of its own, no original thoughts. It's just an incredibly powerful calculator for patterns. All right, enough theory. Let's get to the good stuff. It's time to talk about the AI tools that you can go and start playing with, like right now. But first, one quick but really key idea. Pretty much all the AI you and I can use today is what we call narrow AI. That just means it's designed to do one specific thing and do it incredibly well. So think of it like a world-class chef. They can cook an amazing meal, but you wouldn't ask them to fix your car. It's a specialist. Okay, so with that in mind, let's picture a familiar scenario. You're staring at a blank page. You have to write that tricky email to your boss, or maybe you need to brainstorm some ideas for a birthday party, or just plan a weekend trip. Where do you even start? Well, you can turn to something like ChatGPT. Honestly, the best way to think of it is as your all-purpose digital assistant. It's amazing at understanding what you're asking and then generating text. It can help you draft that message, it can summarize a super long article for you, or it can just be a creative buddy to bounce ideas off of. Okay, cool. But what if your problem isn't about words? What if you need something visual? Maybe a quick logo for a new project, a poster for an event, or just some cool art for a social media post. That is exactly where AI image generators like DALL-E or Midjourney come in. The idea here is just incredible. You literally just type out a description of the image you have in your head, and the AI creates it out of thin air. It is an absolute game changer, especially if you're not a graphic designer. So now you've got this incredible power. You can write, create, and brainstorm like never before. But with all this new capability, the most important question is, how do you use it responsibly? Let's talk about how to be a smart, safe, and confident AI user. It really just comes down to these three simple habits. First, keep your private life private. Never, ever feed sensitive personal data, like bank info or medical records, into a public AI tool. Second, fact-check the important stuff. If you're asking about your health or your finances, always double-check the answer from a reliable source. AI can get things wrong. And third, and this is the big one, always remember that you are in control. The AI works for you, not the other way around. You make the final call. I think this quote just nails it. The goal here is not to outsource your brain. The goal is to use AI as a helper, a tool that helps you think bigger, faster, and more creatively. It's your co-pilot, but you're still flying the plane. So where does all this go from here? Well, the truth is, AI is already changing everything around us. And by understanding how to use it, you're putting yourself in a position to be part of that change, not just watching it happen. Now, a lot of people worry about AI taking away jobs, but the reality is a little different. AI is amazing at automating boring, repetitive tasks. And you know what that does? It frees us humans up to focus on the things we're great at: creativity, critical thinking, and strategy. The most important skill for the future isn't coding, it's just being willing to adapt and learn new tools. And that brings us to the final, really big question to leave you with. It seems pretty clear that AI itself won't replace people, but it's becoming such a powerful advantage that a new question is popping up. Will the people who learn to use AI have a major edge over the people who don't? Definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.